Hey, welcome. We are rocking and rolling today. So happy that you came out to play. Grab your band, grab a small ball, a large ball, maybe some weights and some water bottles, if that works for you too. And also a soft roller if you have one of those. Sometimes we just need to rehydrate those tissues to stay juicy so our nervous system can really figure out where our center is. So let's get going. Let's hold into a standing tall position. Stability always trumps mobility. So see how you are closing your eyes and standing in an upright posture. Don't forget to breathe. And as you are here, I want you to spin the whole arm bone. I'm going to grab on, give a little tension so I know when I'm spinning my palms to look away from me and my palms to move towards me. And I want to keep my heart space open, my collarbones open. So I'm going to keep a little tension in my arms so I'm not rounding into my upper back. So let's rise on up, keep that tension. Do you feel it from the underside? Bend at the elbows, scoop it on in, squeeze those shoulder blades. Lifting on up, squeezing. And maybe this time we're lifting up the left heel, pushing into the ball mound, and drop it, switching sides, lifting and lowering. And now this time as we lift, we're going to lift up the heel on the left. See if you can feel that fire in the hole of those lower belly and the glute muscle too. And let that ankle quiver. Quiver, quiver, quiver. 10, 9, eyes stay closed. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're stepping that left foot into warrior 2 feet. And then I just want you to spin around into those ribs. So if your ankle was quivering, that's exactly what it needs to do. We often get fearful of those shakes, and those shakes are so valuable to help us into creating more mobility and feeling good when we move. So here we go, spin those arm bones, open up the chest, and we're just going to bend and see if you can feel the underside of that armpit working, keeping the heart space open. A lot of times when we try to balance, we use our shoulders, but not today. No, no, no. Lifting up that right heel, squeezing those shoulder blades open. Closing those eyes. Yes, don't forget to close the eyes. And if lifting the foot all the way up does not feel good, just really use the ball mound of the foot. Underneath the big toe mound is a diaphragm point. And in reflexology world, it's everything. 28,000 times a day, our diaphragm is trying to figure out where all our body parts are. So if we're not using our breath, we're not figuring it out. Hang for 5 more, 4 more, 3, 2, warrior 2 feet. How'd you do? And we can have more life and love on one side than the other. It's so amazing how those different pathways send different messages. Awesome. So I want to have you wide angled, and I want you to narrow the heel, widen the knee, and we're going to lower down, keeping the upper back lifted and loaded, and maybe bring out more of the arm bones to corkscrew in the pockets. I like to use my thumbs. Up for 2, down for 2, up for 2, press those heels away, down for 2, maybe getting neurological quivers here. And let's hold where we're quivering for 10, 9, keep active energy into those heels as you reach those knees to the corners of the room for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I want you to pivot on the ball mound, maybe coming in a little closer, so you're bending the knee and then pulling on in and then spinning it back and spinning on that ball mound, pull it on in and spin it back. Maybe opening it up this time. That felt good. Spin it, pull it in. We want to work all different ranges. If we just stay to front to back of a yoga mat, nothing else matters when we're in the real world. And we're going to hold it here. Maybe I'm going to bring my footprints in a little closer and give me the hips to move back and spine to move tall. And I'm going to hold, find those neurological quivers, push the ball mound down, heel presses away, bootylicious is out in the back, out for 10, 9, close those eyes, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, that front heel pushes in. Once I did that, I had it going on. Widen those legs, narrow the heel, pull it on in and squeeze it on out. And now let's go down. 3, 2, 1, up for 3, 2, 1, down for 3, 2, 1, up for 3, 2, 1, go for it. Squeeze. Only the arms are in action. Shoulders stay over those hips. And let's, last one, up for 3, down for 3, and see if you can exhaust those inner thighs. Maybe get a little neurology, close the eyes. Don't forget to breathe. 5, 4, 3, pivot on that right ball of the foot into a lunge. Maybe I'm going to step it a little in so I can push the ball down, but get a little bootylicious attitude, low back space, heel drags forward. And here we go. See how we feel. Functional movement, but we have to be stable before we're mobile. Woo! Just like that. And if we were to hold and move the head, float the chin over the shoulder, move the head, can get more functional into those balls of the footprint, heel pushing away. Big time challenge. It's okay if you wobble. That wobbling is so important. Good job. 4, pull it back, single it out. 3, 2, and 1. And bring it on through, open it up, big good morning stretch, good evening stretch, and sweep it through. Open it up. Reach it out anywhere you need more space in the back, in the spine, in the hips. Like kind of start from the feet, start from the energy of the hands to get that pathway to open, to sing it's love. Both hands plant. You can let the band go. And lean into a quadruped position and be very curious. I'm going to turn to my side and be very curious as to how to spin those arm bones in here. And we're gripping all 10 fingers, pulling the energy back and sensing ear over shoulder, shoulder over hip here. And hip is over the knee. And if we were to step out, grip all 10 fingers, step out to plank. See if you're stepping out and feeling the core. And maybe we're just going to unload both feet, anchor, and see where you're at. We're hanging and holding. 10, 9, corkscrew those arm bones. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll those knees in to bend, but keep active energy underneath the armpit. Roll those knees in, keep active energy. Roll them on out. For 5. Core should be working. 4. Keep those shoulder blades down. 3. Don't forget to breathe. 2. And 1. And land those bones. Let's grab a round roller. I love to use Melt products. Nice and soft. If it's hard, it's not going to be worth your while. You need your nerve endings to have to listen. So if you're using something too hard, sometimes they retreat because they're like, whoa, you can't get me out of pain by moving me into pain. So here we are. I want you to sit on top and just give some love to the hip, especially in those lateral hips, stabilizing entities. Anywhere that you feel a little, that releasing, that tender spot, maybe moving a different body part. I'm gonna spin those arm bones and maybe opening up the knees, right on the tail. See if I can sense the core, that setter working its love, and then switching sides, maybe coming onto the forearm. Making it happy. So if we were here and you were to drop the sitting bones down and see if you can lift the chest to open, and then maybe grip those fingers, extend, 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 extend. And then maybe I'm gonna slide my legs out and do a full roll up where my heels drag energetically towards me, sitting bones hit, chest opens. I'm gonna switch it to a ball, but if you wanna stay with that roller, go for it. Here we go. Maybe bringing in a band close at hand. So here I am, but I need to feel secure in my bootylicious. My butt needs to ground down and my chest needs to stay open. So I'm gonna lean back and maybe Dorothy click my heels in so I'm a little connected. Add that reach, bring it on down. Wrists are strong with the forearms. Maybe I'm just hanging and holding and pulling on out, spinning those arm bones in for 10, 9, 8, 7. Do you feel the love? 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna extend and bend, extend and bend. Keeping the shoulders down for 5, 4, go 3, woohoo, heat it up, 2, and 1, wowza. And if I were to extend those heels out, sitting bones land, chest lifts up, right? So break it down, here we go, heels go, sitting bones second, heart leads the way, third, pulling back, lower, extend, core, heels, booty, chest. Wow, don't need to do too many. If you're feeling it not in the core, maybe do this with just a holds first. The magic is the hold. Nothing else matters if you're not able to stabilize first. Get your nervous system to start learning to trust you today. One more. Oh my goodness. Awesome job. I'm gonna take a breather. keep your band close at hand. You never know what type of trouble you might get into. I'm going to plant the ball underneath the sacrum and just dance break. Move those hips. Try to rock around the clock. One more. And I'm pushing my footprints away, maybe putting more energy into the triceps. That really allows my body to feel grounded first before I start wiggling and wagging. So here we go. I'm not collapsing into the chest, and I want to hover the footprints, allow that little quiver happening. Maybe, but I'm keeping my tail to sink. And that's what kind of quiets it. And keep the tail sinking. Dorothy, click those heels and maybe take a slight bend out of the knee, maybe a little lower bend, but let it quiver. Use those quivers, capital Q. And then maybe sinking my hips more, let it quiet. Our psoas that emerges out of the spine wraps around the hips, and it's strongest when it's at length. When there's slack in there, it's at rest, and that's good too. But when it's working, it wants to be a swinger, so it needs this pendulum action of taunt, tightness, and this happiness to get things moving. Maybe a little neurological quiver. Let's take those heels around the clock. They can be big, they can be small, but whatever it is, don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to keep the heart space open. One direction, then switch it to the other. Good times. Give me 3 more. 1 to one direction, 1 to the other. 2, really feel that leg bone, that long leg bone sink deep into the hip. When it's not sunk in deep enough, we start working those hip flexors, and the psoas wants to help stability there. So give it a breather. How did you do? Maybe little frog legs, little breath, little regroup. And I am tapping my toes down, bringing my footprint back in, and keeping my tail to go into a tilt, and then see if you can push those back of the arm bones and just isolate the movement of the hips, just in a tilt and a tuck. See if you can isolate it. So incredibly important for stability over mobility here. Just isolating your body parts, whether it's breath, being able to, we're going to do it different ways of breathing, but just isolating how we're breathing is so paramount. Let's keep the anterior tilt. I want you to push the heels energetically away, and I'm going to remove the ball and then reset my hips. So I'm going into that sink down action, push those heels away. And I want you to feel the lower fibers of glutes, upper fibers of hamstrings, and maybe get that neurological quiver in the knees. Do you feel it? Let it be a happy. And if you're new to this and you're not feeling anything, just the magic is the hold. Feel your big toe. Your big toe is so important to have that happen. And then I want you to squeeze the ball with your hands, and we're hanging and holding. You should feel all that work in the lower body, but we're just giving it just different feedback, squeezing and maybe reaching but keep the feet pushing into the opposing direction and then bring it through. If one foot is being more pressed down more throughout than one side than the other, put more energy into that footprint, but they should stay equally the same. Give me 3 more. I'm pushing through, feeling the underside of my arms and pulling it back. 2 more. I'm feeling heat on the inside of my legs. A lot of quivering, but you need to, don't forget to breathe. Need to keep the low back space. And 1 more. Nice job. Can we keep the anterior tilt without changing hip position? We're dropping and lifting for 4 with a pause. Neuro quiver. 3, keep the chest open, pressing into the ball. 2, use those heels to push away to lift you up. And now, take out the pause. 4, 3, little move. 2, and 1. Oh my goodness, how did you do? Extend those legs out, shake them out. Taking in that amazing breath of yours, notice where you're at. Hopefully you're not on the tailbone and you have happy movement in your neck control too. All right, let's play ball. Here we go. We're gonna squeeze, open, feel that beautiful, amazing architecture of your low back, and then play, whether it's catching it here or catching it in the inside of the knee. Feel how that feels as you extend, but keep the shoulders down. Feel them. Use the floor for feedback. Maybe Dorothy click those heels, add that reach. Squeezing, opening, making happy. Go 5. Woo, 4, 3, 2, slow and steady wins the race, keeping active energy into those body parts, and 1, and maybe squeeze, work in all different directions, squeeze, little opposite knees, opposite arms, see where you're at. I love to keep my heels together. It gives me a little better feedback as I'm moving and grooving. Oh yeah. Go 4, 3. Even if you have 30 minutes of your day, make movement part of your practice. Make still ability always part of your day. And 1. Nice. Awesome job. Wow. All right, so taking the water, taking the air, sip, water break. Be consistent about your water. All right, so let's hang on, hold on. I want you to sit your bootylicious on the band. And this is a twofer. I am making sure my ears over the shoulder, shoulder over hips. Heels are like a plummet line from my sitting bones. And I'm just gonna open it up, open up the chest, shoulders over hips. And as I connect into my midline, I can feel engagement. And I want you to lift the hip from that sitting bone and hold here. I'm using my opposite hand because my bottom leg wants to do the work, but I'm just trying to figure out how to get this to fire. Hanging, holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, feel that neuro quiver. You're in the right zone if that knee is kind of wandering around. Fire, it's firing. And if it's not, reset yourself and hang and hold. If it's firing, we're going to drop down and pick it up from your butt with a pause. Drop down. Don't need to do too many of these. Feel the magic, feel the love, pick it up. Maybe give it a little love tap. And if it's still working, we're dropping and lifting for 4, 3. Don't forget to breathe. 2 and 1. Hold and hold. Length through strength. Yeah, that's the way you rock it. Okay. Don't change body positioning, but I do want you to bring the hand to gather the band. We're using tension, and I want you to feel that humeral head of that upper arm bone deep into the shoulder, and then just hanging and holding. Stay out of the neck. Give it feedback and like kind of punching up to the corner of the ceiling, and see if you can get that neuro quiver there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Feel the posterior delt and the underside of the armpit working. 3, 2, 1. We're lifting and lowering, but not losing the integrity of that amazing muscle of yours. One more. Here's the pump. Take out the pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Open it up. Feel that magic. Let's switch sides. Same rules apply. Sit on down. Sometimes the most challenging is setting up. So be patient with yourself. You know, we are compensating all throughout our day, and our playful movement exercise practice is supposed to help us not compensate, so we're not losing that amazing space. And all right, here we go. Hold, giving it a little love tap, staying out of the neck, picking up the knee. It's not a big slice of pizza. We're like sliver central here. 10, 9, let that butt work. 8, 7, heels stay together. Reset. 5, 4, 3, 2. If that hip is working, that booty wishes is working, then proceed to dropping with a pause. Dropping with a pause, picking it up with the bootylicious, dropping with a pause. Drop it with a pause. And now here is the down and the lift without the pause, but the booty lifts first. And 1, oh yeah. Feel that heat. Didn't look like much, but it packs a punch. Go for it. So a lot of times we like to pop and chicken wing that elbow. No chicken wing in here. We're going to wrap that tricep under, so you're feeling the underside, and then wrist is strong with the forearm. And there it is. Quiver, quiver, capital Q. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm not losing the integrity, but I'm just lowering with a pause and lifting. Don't forget to breathe. Dropping and lifting. Dropping and lifting. And if it's still feeling all the right spots, maybe taking out the pause for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, baby. Awesome sauce. Give it a good stretch morning, noon, and night. Whatever that is. Give yourself big hugs. What we can learn from our fur babies when they wake up, right? What they do, they stretch, they wag their tail, they get on their backs. Yes, that's it, Tilly, that's it. That's it. You're teaching me so much, yes. All right, guys, thank you for playing with me. So grateful that you're here and taking care of your body.